Hello everyone and welcome to Nervous Nessie. This is the 6th video in my money saving series where we talk about ways to save money in your everyday life that you can use towards travel. In the first 5 videos, we asked ourselves the question that you should always ask before you buy something, and that is, can I get it for free? Can I rent or borrow it? Can I share the cost with someone else? Can I get it used? Or can I get it cheaper somewhere else? In this video, I just wanted to talk about generic overview things that you can do in your everyday life that will help you save money for travel. These are things that I have actually personally done, and I know that they work, and you'll be amazed if you implement these into your life, how much money you actually end up saving, because it ends up being a lot. The first thing that you should do is family-sized meals. Now, if you have a family, you're already doing this. You're already doing a big portion of food and splitting it amongst all of your family members. However, if you live alone, or maybe you're just a couple, then you think family size, that's just going to be too much food. It is, but it's going to save you money. Think about if you live alone. For me personally, I cannot eat more than 2 slices of pizza. So what I do is I buy a large pizza, and then that gives me 4 meals. Generally, if they cut it into 8 pieces, that is 4 meals for me. That could be my lunch for the week or my dinner for the week. A lot of people don't like eating the same meals over and over. I totally understand. I am like that with a lot of things. But there are some meals that I will eat several days in a row. If you're not sure, then check online before you go to get food from outside. Maybe it's a local restaurant. Check their family meal deals. It could be that it is a variety of food for the entire what you're buying, but you can split it up. Maybe it is 2 entrees and 3 sides. You could change that up. You could have a portion of the entree, 1 entree and 2 of the sides, then the different entree and 2 different sides. Change it up. But you can actually save money because you're paying a lot up front, but when you break it down to how many meals you're getting out of it, you end up saving a lot. Usually I average around $5 a meal whenever I do this. Now, it is of course better to cook. However, with the cost of everything, including groceries, rising every single day, it's kind of no longer cheaper to cook. But if you are gonna cook, look for recipes that you can make a lot of an item and get several meals out of it. Casserole dishes are really good at that, and anything in the crock pot is always good at that. You can do minimum amount of ingredients, make 1 item, and get several meals out of it. This next item kind of goes hand in hand with that, and it is buy in bulk. If you can buy in bulk, you'll end up saving money right out of the gate. Again, if let's say you live alone, or if it's only a couple, buying in bulk may not make sense to you, but it's how you handle what you buy. For example, if I were to buy hamburger meat, I buy it in bulk every time, every single time. And it's this huge thing of like pounds and pounds of hamburger meat. But what I do is I buy the freezer bags, like freezer Ziploc bags, and I portion out the meat and put it in the freezer bags and freeze it. And then I will thaw it out when I need to use it. I learned this from my parents, and I've seen a lot of older generations doing this. And it kind of goes back to the age of the Depression when food was scarce, and when you did get it, you would want to save it. You would want to freeze the food or ration out the food. So by buying it in bulk and rationing it out, it ends up saving you money. Other bulk items that you would want to buy are your non-perishable items, your toilet paper, paper towels, detergent, and other non-perishable items such as maybe shampoo or conditioner or body wash. Now, if you're in the shower, you have this gallon-sized thing of body wash, it may not make sense to put that in the shower, and you're used to buying the smaller bottles. Then you can use the big bottle and refill the smaller bottles. Here is a perfect example of that. Here is a shampoo that I use. It is 10.8 ounces. If I were to go to the local store and buy this, which I initially did, it's $30. $30 for this shampoo. That's a lot of money for a shampoo. Now, I will say a very tiny amount of the shampoo goes a very long way. I love this shampoo. But $30 for this little container. However, I found on Amazon, I can buy this, which is 32 ounces, for $60. Technically, this should be $100 if I bought 3 of these, because it would be 3 of these to fill this up. That would be $90, but instead I'm paying $60. So I kept the original bottle and I used this to refill the bottle and save myself a ton of money. And also by doing that, you're saving on plastic. Buying a lot of little small bottles ends up wasting so much plastic when you can just buy a giant bottle and refill your smaller bottles. This next item I wanted to talk about is driving your car less. Of course, if you can take public transportation or walk, that is always the best thing to do, not only for your health and saving money, but the environment. But drive your car less means that instead of going to the store for every little thing that you need, make a list. Make a little list, maybe it's on your fridge, and you write down all the things that you are gonna need. Now, obviously, if you need something right away, maybe you just ran out of something, then go to the store, which is exactly what I used to do. And then I realized I'm going to the store a lot. And all the stores that I went to were not exactly close to where I live. I had to drive a few miles to get there. So what I started doing is writing down a list. There are staple items that I use all the time. You know what you use all the time. Maybe it's certain groceries or certain toiletry items that you use all the time. You know you're gonna need it. So make a list when you're starting to get low, and then go to the store and buy everything all at once. And when you go to the store, try to plan it, look on the map and try to plan it to where you can hit up several stores nearby at the same time. I have to drive about 3 or 4 miles to get to the main shopping area where all these different stores are. Instead of me going one day to that area to get groceries, the next day to get something different, I plan out my week and I go to that area once and hit up all the stores at one time. Not only does this save you money on gas, but also the wear and tear on your car. It cuts down on the possibility of you getting into a car accident because you're on the road less, and it saves you a lot of time. Another way to save money for travel is to sell stuff that you don't need or use anymore. There's plenty of platforms out there, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, that you can sell your items. Of course, you want to be safe when it comes to meeting the people that are buying your items, but if there's something that you no longer need, sell it, get rid of it, have a yard sale. Another way to save money, use your friends and family. That's what they're there for. No, I'm kidding. Use your friends and family for random things. Maybe it is a mechanic you have something wrong with your car and you have a mechanic in the family, or a friend is a mechanic, see if they can work on your car for you instead of having to go to a stranger at some dealership or some other place and have them work on it. Also, get your friends to help you move. I've done this a lot. You'd be surprised what people will do for free food and drinks, especially adult beverages. But instead of paying for movers, ask your friends if they can help you move. Same thing goes for asking friends or family to do everyday things for you. Maybe it is you love getting your nails done. Have a friend come over and you have a manicure day and they do your nails for you. Is it done by a professional? Probably not, unless they actually are a professional, but it will save you money. I recently overheard someone talking about how they paid $70 to get their nails done. $70. Do you know how much you can use $70 when you travel? Especially if you travel to some countries that it's very cheap. You could literally stay in a hostel for $70 for a week. So staying in another country in a hostel for $70, or you get your nails done one time. I actually do my nails myself. I don't care. I used to have it done, and number one, I thought I did a better job than they did. It just looked a lot better. And number two, it hurts when someone else does it. They have a tendency to cut, more likely for infections because it's tools being shared by random other people. These are my tools. I do them myself and save myself a lot of money. Also, having your hair cut. If you have a friend or family member that maybe they cut hair for a living, see if they can do it at a discount versus paying someone outright for it. And speaking of using friends and family for saving money, ask for travel-specific gifts. If you know that you're wanting to save for travel and you have a birthday or a holiday coming up that you're probably going to be receiving a gift, drop a little hint to whoever it is that you think will be giving you the gift and say, hey, I really could use some luggage, or I really could use some money for this trip I want to go on. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Ask for what you really truly want. And it makes it a lot easier for the person who's giving you the gift. I would much rather give a gift that I know the person either wants or needs versus trying to guess and give them something they don't want or need. So if you are someone who may be receiving a gift, ask for the gift specifically for travel. We've already kind of talked about this next item, and that is do it yourself. Stop paying someone else to do what you are perfectly capable of doing yourself. Just like we talked about, I give myself a manicure. I don't go and pay a bunch of money to have someone do my nails. You can also save money by doing things yourself. Maybe it is cutting your own hair if you have a fairly simple haircut. It's housekeeping. Instead of paying for someone to come to your house and clean your house for you, clean it yourself. Of course, a lot of times people get housekeepers because they're very busy, or maybe they have health reasons and that's why they need someone to do it, which is perfectly fine. But if you're just being lazy and don't want to clean your house and you pay someone else to do it, stop doing that. Clean it yourself and save yourself the money. Things like washing your car yourself. Yes, you could pay the money and have someone else wash your car for you, or pay the money and go through one of the automated things, which is actually very bad for your car. It can really damage your car, and that costs you money. Just wash your car yourself. If you're living in a place like an apartment complex where you can't wash your car yourself, you could go to a friend or family member's and wash it there, or just wait until it rains and knocks the dirt off, which I have done. I've waited until it rains and then it washes a lot of the dirt off, and then it allows me to wait a little bit longer before I have to officially wash my car, but it does save me money. And the last tip I want to give you is get a side gig. It doesn't have to be a full-time job. It could be something very simple that doesn't take up a whole lot of your time, but get a side gig. Maybe you're very crafty and you can create a lot of crafts that you could sell online or to local coworkers, friends and family members. Or maybe you're very tech savvy. You could go onto Fiverr. I have actually used Fiverr a lot. I used Fiverr to create the Nervous Nessie logo and the music for the YouTube channel here. And the way that it works is you go on there and you say, hey, I am able to do XYZ for someone. So then me, the random person, will hit you up and say, hey, I need you to do this for me. There's negotiations that go back and forth on exactly what the person wants and the price, and the person ends up getting the item they want and you get paid for doing whatever it is. Maybe it is creating a logo. Maybe you are tech savvy and you can create logos for a company. You can put yourself on the website and someone comes to you and says, make this logo for me, and you get paid. There are plenty of side gigs out there that you can do during your free time, and they aren't really considered a part-time job. You just do it whenever you feel like doing it. But it's a good way for you to save money that you can use towards an upcoming trip. I hope you enjoyed this video. I actually have a lot more tips that I want to share with you, a lot of these kind of general overview tips, but I didn't want to put it in one big long video. So if you want to know when the next video comes out that has the rest of those tips, then subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments about the tips that I gave in this video, feel free to leave those below and I'll get to those as soon as I can. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video, which is the last video in this series. But until then, bye.